Anyone has any preference? Which song we should sing? Huh?
Vrindavana Ramya.
Oh, okay. But that's a 2 beat. I cannot play Mridanga, but we can sing. Song we can sing. It's just
You play Karpar.
somehow I like 2 beat songs very much. But I never play instruments in those. Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara
Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara.
Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira Manohara.
Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chintamani Dhama Ratana Mandira
Abreta Kalinde Nire Raja Hamsa Kili Kare Sahe Shobhe Kanaka Kamala
Amrita Kalindine Raja Hamsa Kelikale Sahe Shobhe Kanaka Kamala.
Sada Madhe Hema Pita Ashtadale Vishakita Ashtadale Pradhan Naika
Tara Madhe Hima Pita Ashadale Vishita Ashadale Pradhanayika.
Sada Madhe Hema Pita Ashtadale Vishakita Ashtadale Pradhan
Tara Madhe Hima Pita Ashadale Vishita Ashadale Pradhanayika.
Sada Madhe Ratnasane Vashiyache Dui Jane Syama Sange Sundari Radhika
Tara Madhe Ratnasane Vashiyache Dui Jane Syama Sange Sundari Radhika.
Orupala Banya Rasi Amiya Pariche Khasi Hasya Parihasa Sambhasa
Urupala Panyarasi Amiya Pariche Khasi Asya Parihasa Sambhashani.
Narotama Dasa Koi Satya Leela Sukha Moy Sadai Suruk Moramane
Narotama Dasa Koi नित्यालीला सुखामोरे सदाई सुखामोरे
वृंदावना रम्या स्थान दिव्या चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर मनोहारा
वृंदावना रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर मनोहारा
अमृता कालिंदी राजा हंस खिली कर चाहे शोभे कनक कमारा
अमृता कालिंदी नीरे राजा हमसा केली करे चाहे शोभे कनक कमारा
माधे हेमाकीटा अष्टादाले विषतीता अष्टादाले प्रधान नायिका
मध्ये हिमापीठ अष्टादाले प्रेषिता अष्टादाले प्रधानायिका
माधे रत्नासने ऐशियाचे दुई जाने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी आतिका
माझे रत्नासाने कसियाचे दुई जाने श्यामा संगे सुंदरी आतिका
गोरुपाला बन्यारास आमिया परिछे खासी आस्या परिहासा संभासाने
गुरुपाला बन्यारासी आमिया परिछे खासी आस्या परिहासा संभासाने
नरोत्तमा दासा कोय नित्य लीला सुख मोर सदाई सुख मोरा माने
नरोत्तमा दासा कोय नित्य लीला सुख मोर सदाई सुख मोरा माने
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mata. So we'll go through the translation. Yes, we'll go through translation. Also, whatever you want me to go through, I'll go through that.
Western devotee.
Huh?
Western devotee.
Beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Chintamani gems and many jewel palaces and temples. Many regal swans play in the waters of the Yamuna, and in those waters a splendid golden lotus flower grows. In the middle of that lotus is a golden place surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals, the 8 principal gopis reside, and in the center, Lord Shyamasundar and beautiful Srimati Radharani sit on a jewel throne. The great beauty of the divine couple and their charming joking and laughter continually showers nectar everywhere. Narottam Das says, I pray that these blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple may be always manifest in my heart. Happy? Satisfied? Any other desire? Anyone has any other desire? Huh? Yadi Gaur na hoite. Well, that's a very transcendental song. Does anyone knows the tune? Our Kirtan expert, Gayatri Mataji. You know the tune? No.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What is the tune? Yeah, so I cannot sing, so you only have to sing. First line I thought maybe I can sing. When it came to that, I said, okay, this I cannot sing. It's small, you sing. You'll follow. In ISKCON what happens? If you volunteer, you can. Okay, then I will. Huh?
I guess.
Yeah, no, we will try. It's a very beautiful song. And yes, without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love, we cannot make progress. यदि गौर ना होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे
यदि गौर ना होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे
यदि गौर ना होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे
यदि गौर न होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे
राधा राम महिमा प्रेम रसा सीमा जगते जनत के
राधा राम महिमा प्रेम रस सीमा जगते जनत के
माधुरा वृंदावीपिना माधुरी प्रवेश चातुरी सारा
मधुरा वृंदावीना माधुरी प्रवेश चातुरी
वरज युवती भावेरा भकति शक्ति हाइते कारा
वरज युवती भावेरा भकति शक्ति हाइते कारा
गाओ गाओ पूर्णा गौरंगे रघुना सरला हाइया मना
गाओ गाओ पूना गौरंगे रघुना सरला हाइया मना
गाओ गाओ पूर्णा गौरंगे रघुना सरला हाइया मना
गाओ गाओ पूना गौरंगे रघुना सरला हाइया मना
ए भाव सागरे ए मना दयाला ना देखिए एक जना
ये भाव सागरे ये मन दयाला ना देखिए एक जना
ए भाव सागरे ए मना दयाला ना देखिए एक जाना।
ये भवसागरे ये मन दयाला ना देखिए एक जना।
गौरंगा बालिया नागेनु गालिया के माने धारिनु दे।
गौरंग बलिया नागे मुगलिया के मने धरिनु दे।
गौरंगा बलिया नागेनु गालिया के माने धारिनु दे।
गौरंग बलिया
देवासुर हिया पाषाणा दिया के माने गड़िया छे।
देवासुर दिया आसाना दिया के माने गालिया छे।
यदि गौर ना होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे। यदि गौर ना होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे।
यदि
यदि गौर न होइतो ताबे की होइतो के माने धरिता दे। राधा राम सीमा प्रेम रासा सीमा जगते जाना ताके। राधा राम हिमा प्रेम रासा सीमा जगते जाना ताके।
राधा रामानिमा प्रेम रस सीमा जगत जानत के।
माधुर वृंदा विपिना माधुरी प्रवेश चातुर सारा। वरजयुवती भावेरा भकति शकति हाइते कारा। That okay. I'm not a kirtanier, so but we will sing it if you have a desire. So we'll leave the meaning. If Lord Gaura had not appeared as the Yuga avatar in this age of Kali, then what would have become of us? How could we have tolerated living? Who in this universe would have ever learned about the topmost limits of loving mellows that comprise the glory of Sri Radha? Who would have had the power to render ecstatic devotional service that follows in the footsteps of the damsels of Vraja? Indeed, the clever expertise of the Vraj Gopis is a prerequisite for entering the supremely sweet forest of Vrindadevi. Indeed, the clever expertise of the Vraja Gopis is the prerequisite for entering the supremely sweet forest of Vrinda Devi. Oh, please sing again and again of the glorious qualities of Lord Gauranga. Just try to keep your heart simple. Not even one person within this ocean of nations has ever seen such a magnanimous personality as he. Even though I chant the holy name of Gauranga, somehow I still have not melted in ecstasy. How then have I maintained the burden of this body? How has the Creator fashioned this body with a stone in place of Vasudev Ghosha's? Okay, very intense song. Should we begin? Alright. Okay. So you have some desire? कोई इच्छा नहीं. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीगुरून् साग्रजातम् सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते. हे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी कृष्णमानसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. आचार्यपतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे श्रीवासदि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम वाचालं बहु लंगायते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनकारुणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्. सुनी साथी रामाता शिरे बुके घाटा मारे साथी रंदिहा उपा इहा बले बारे बारे. When Sati's mother, who was Sati? Huh? Protection. Daughter. Sati's mother is wife. Wife of Sabha Bhattacharya. This is the pastime where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to honor Prasad at the house of Sabha Bhattacharya. Sabha Bhattacharya and his wife cooked. Cannot describe. Mahaprabhu says cannot describe, so how can we describe? Like Grand feast is an utter underestimation of what they prepared. Sathi is the daughter and Sathi's mother is the wife. That's it. We can assume that now. So Bhattacharya earlier. See here it says when Sathi's mother, the Bhattacharya's wife. Actually, here Sathi it could be translation problem. No, यहाँ पे problem नहीं होता. There it may be again Satira Mata, which is it's not like we say like Nagmani Mata. This is what this means is when Sati's mother. That's okay. Just a deep. So when Sati's mother, the Bhattacharya's wife, heard of this incident, she immediately began to strike her head and chest, saying again and again, "Let Sati become a widow." Clear? And this is the particular instance where Amogha came, and Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami describes that Amogha had a natural inclination to find fault in everyone. He was inclined in that direction. So Sarva Bhattacharya was keeping Amogha out of the house. But somehow or other, when Sarva Bhattacharya was busy in serving the food to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, somehow Amogha made an entrance. And then he started criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you are a sannyasi and you eat like this. And that broke the heart of Sarva Bhattacharya. And Sarva Bhattacharya, and this is the cursing going on right now. And it is described, last week we discussed that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard the criticism of Sarva Bhattacharya, what did he do? Yeah, he smiled and he continued eating. And we had some discussion on how do we take criticism and tolerance when we are criticized. So after that, Amogha, Sarva Bhattacharya with a stick, he started running behind Amogha. And Amogha is young man, Sarva Bhattacharya is an old man. So Amogha ran faster. And now there is a description of the emotion of Sathi's Mata, Sathila Mata, that she was beating her, striking. She began to strike her head and chest, saying, "Let Sathi become a widow." Okay.
तुम्हारा दुख देखी प्रभु तुम्हा प्रबोधिया तुम्हारा इच्छा पे भोजना करिया पुस्तक हम. Seeing the lamentation of both husband and wife, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to pacify them. According to their desire, he ate their prasadam and was very satisfied.
Okay, so Mahaprabhu tried to pacify them that it's okay. And then in order to please them, he continued eating prasad. One thing that will come out in this particular discussion, very beautiful discussion. It is the last discussion of this chapter. And next week, we will begin Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attempt to South India tour, where he would, very exciting journey. And that's where he will Rupa and Sanatan also. In Ram ke liye. Then he comes back, then he makes a tour. So that tour begins next week. So we will, one quality of Mahaprabhu that will come out is Mahaprabhu is always very much pleasing to all the devotees. Not always, especially Krishna, Kala Krishna Das, some places like a thunderbolt, but generally towards his devotees, he is very careful how to please everyone. If somebody is in anxiety, that becomes Mahaprabhu's anxiety. And we will see Mahaprabhu's unconditional love today. Very, very beautifully described by Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. We all have heard the story, yes, of this, but when we hear directly from Krishna's, it has a different effect. And every time I hear, I feel like, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is amazing. That is the purpose, is to create that mood, create that bhav towards the Lord. So what did he do when he saw that they both were like, she was like beating her chest like, may Satira become a widow? What Mahaprabhu did, try to pacify them. And how did he try to pacify them? Try to please them. How he tried to please them? Because they wanted him to eat. So he's like, every action is meant to please the devotee. Was trying to please the devotees like it. And this is very nice. It says that he ate the prasadam and was very satisfied. Generally, if somebody says anything to us, if we eat prasad, we don't become satisfied. Throughout the eating, we are like, how can he say like that? And we will not be said. We won't even taste what Mahaprabhu completely translated, obviously. So he ate a prasad and he was very satisfied.
Achamana Karana Bhatta Dila Mukha Vasa Tulasi Manjari Lavan Lavanha Lacha Rasa Vasa. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finished eating, the Bhattacharya poured water for the Lord to wash his mouth, hands, and legs, and offered him flavored spices, tulsi manjaris, cloves, and cardamom.
So then what did Bhattacharya do? Like feed. And then offered him flavored spices, tulsi manjaris, cloves, and cardamom. This also shows from Bhattacharya, although he was disturbed, he did not disturb his service to the Lord. Likewise, sometimes we may also become disturbed. Anyone become disturbed here? No. When we are disturbed, yes, you also will. Although sometimes you become disturbed, that should not affect our service. If we have some service, no matter, our service should be independent of our feelings. Like, this is my service, I will go back to. Not like, today I'm not in a good mood. So, moody is not good. Fix is good. And that is also a stage of nishtha, where we are steady in our devotional service. Not like, I don't feel like waking up today, so I will continue sleeping. No, it's my service to the Holy. Or I don't feel like. We have to go beyond feelings. Not easy.
But how to apply this?
How to?
Like somebody has cooking seva or teaching also. The mood is not good, it's not supposed to. Better not to do.
No, even if the mood is not good, do it.
Even Prashad, whoever is eating.
Yes, no, Prabhuji. Do your seva. Even if you are utterly miserable, do it. My experience is when our conscience is not good, prasadam taste is not good. Has anyone experienced? No. Have you experienced? No. Or you feel like the taste is dependent upon my cooking skills? Matajis are not saying anything. So they are very much convinced that the prasadam taste is dependent on my cooking skills. It's not the case. Prasadam taste is dependent upon our devotion. When your chanting is good, na, your prasadam taste will be good. Chanting is not good, na, you follow the same recipe. You will feel when you eat something is missing. You don't believe me? Huh? We are not targeting you here. My experience, Prabhuji, 100% true. If I'm sharing something, means I don't experience once and I share. I'm experiencing for a long time, then I'm sharing. If my chanting is not good now, I know whatever recipe I follow, whatever I cook, the taste will not be satisfying. It's true. When my chanting is good, I don't care how much salt I cook, how I cook, what I cook, what I put first, what I put later. Everybody says, oh, amazing. And I know it's not me, it's Krishna.
Would you feel like both ways? Like who is doing chanting good, their cooking is good, and who is chanting good, their eating is the taste.
Mostly the consciousness of cook. Just like when you see the deities now, rather than if your consciousness is good, she will smile. If consciousness is not good, she won't smile. If your consciousness is good, Dharman will come out good. Conscious not good, anybody who feels they will feel disconnected. Anybody who feels. Every devotional service like that. Chanting is good. Everything you do is attractive. When we become Krishna conscious, we become attractive. Everything is a devotional service. Everything becomes attractive. When chanting is not good, we are miserable and we make others also miserable. Boils down to our chanting.
Our services will impact the chanting rate. Like chanting and services and services and chanting rate. Let's say chanting is not really services get affected. And how to
You are saying chanting is not good, but service is good?
no both. Like generally service actually takes to the good chanting, right? And then whatever.
See, we are gradually making progress. 10% purified, 10% taste in the holy name. 30% purified, this much taste in the holy name. 50% purified, 50% taste in the holy name. 75% purified, 75% taste in the holy name. Baseline. Then somehow or other, somebody is displeased. You may come to the level of 40%. Just give an example. If you're 75%, then you come to level of 40%. Everything you do at this level may not be very satisfying. But there is nothing to feel depressed about because your level is this. Unlimited reasons we can go here. But you cannot go down because devotional service, there is no loss or diminution. Even if you die, next life, here only. If somebody is displeased, they will be displeased for a day or two for some reason. This is your state. Like today, what happened? One person was very displeased with me. You cannot control it. He called me. He said, Prabhuji, I need Brahman initiation. I asked him, Prabhu, do you have Bhakti Shastri? He said, no. I said, no, Brahman initiation is difficult. He said, I'm getting the certificate in mid-December. I'm on my way by doing from somewhere else in US, some online. I will get it by mid-December. I said, Prabhu, we need a certificate now. He said, no, Prabhu. I assure you, Prabhu, I'll show you the certificate. Give me Brahman. We don't know when Maharaj will give it teacher again. I said, it doesn't work like that. We need certificate. And it's not up to me. We have to submit to the initiation team. We need the certificate. He was not happy. Suddenly he kept the phone and I'm feeling so much heaviness in my heart. I'm like, this is service. Sometimes you feel good emotion, sometimes you feel bad emotion. Doesn't matter. Whatever you are, nobody can take it from you. Just continue. Is there something up to us? No. And it's not something that you are offending somebody. It's not something that you are like, even if you have certificates, I'll make sure you don't get initiated. It's just a situation. And I'm trying to convince him, Prabhu, please understand, it's not up to any one of us. This is a requirement, Prabhu. He said, Prabhu, I have a desire, Krishna will fulfill. It's like, I will strongly pray, Prabhu, that I want to get initiated. I cannot do anything. I said, Prabhuji, I will also offer prayers, but he was upset with me because I was the instrument to say, no, Prabhu. And he was hurt. He's not hurt because of me, but he was hurt because he has this desire. It's a good desire. Great Vaishnav, but it's just, he's sad. He want to worship the deities. Radha Gopijana Vallabha. He's sad. Surrender. So, doesn't matter how we feel because it is dependent upon so many factors. What matters is your devotional service to Krishna continues. Nobody can take your Krishna consciousness away from you. Invest in your Krishna consciousness. It's an eternal investment. Sometimes it may happen that we are kind of eternally at this level only. And so many things are happening. Still you are making progress. Externally, you may be at this level. You go to forest alone. Don't interact with anyone. I'm not recommending it for you. You have so many responsibilities. You will feel your progress. In so much sadhana, so many things happen that are not in our hands. Today morning Bhagavatam class, if you heard, I was sharing the example of bangles. Two people are there. Chan, chan, chan. But your investment in your Krishna consciousness is an eternal investment. How you perceive your advancement and how you are advancing, they are two different things. Because your perception of your advancement is dependent upon many social factors. That's why they said that sometimes we say my chanting is very bad. I'm displeasing Krishna. Not necessarily you're displeasing Krishna. I think previously one time I shared how much Krishna is pleased with us and how much we are experiencing in chanting. They're not necessarily always correlate. At least that's my experience. Because there are many factors that come into the play. If your service is very good, and if you think your chanting will be very nice the next day, maybe. But it won't be always the case. It won't be always the case. Sometimes we may do a lot of service. But the purpose of service is to pleasing devotees. And something happened wrong. The service itself may inconvenient also. It happens. I mean, I have all kind of experiences. Especially when you think that now I've rendered service, now my chanting will be good. That time definitely it won't be good. Krishna will make sure some mistake will happen. It's all internal. Krishna doesn't want us to think that I can make Krishna, I can take something from Krishna based on my endeavor. A big guess or completely independent. When you think I will do excellent today, that's not a good day. When you think, my Lord, my life is full of sin, yeah, you will do good chanting that day. My life is completely useless. I am completely hopeless. Then only you can chant. That's what Mahaprabhu came to give us. Like today, tomorrow I will relish like anything. I did so much service today. Amazing. M- I have contrary experience with that consciousness. So I stopped thinking in that direction.
Only many people are pleased and one devotee is not pleased. Still, the not pleasing is better.
Yeah, not pleasing people take the preference. You please 500 devotees, displease one devotee, that one will take the preference. That's my experience. But you will still receive the blessings. And once that one displeasing is neutralized, you will make a good leap of progress because that is in store for you. Just like example, Prabhupada said somebody became very advanced in Krishna consciousness and one person was displeased or one often take birth as an animal in Vrindavan. Prabhupada said. You heard that, right? They take birth as animal. So their leaps of devotional service is not counted. That one devotee makes them, one offense makes them take the form of an animal. But then his devotional service is not lost. Prabhupada said after this life, they will again come back to God. So that 500 is an investment. Very good. Not easy. Not easy. Sarvange Paraila Prabhura Male. Oh, who is reading? Mat Prabhu.
Sarvangikaraya Prabhupada Maya Sandana Dandava Sahana Bhaya Sadhana Vasana. The butterfly then placed the flower down over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and smeared his body with sandal with fire. After offering obeisance, the butterfly submitted the following humble petition.
So then what did he do? Very personal. If somebody comes and we offer them prasad, door is open. What he's doing is he started taking the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and started putting chandan. That's, we all do that, right? That's a culture. That's very nice. He offered a garland, like care. And then he offered obeisances and then he spoke the following statement.
This is a great offense. Please excuse me. I beg your pardon.
Hey, Aparada Prabhu Shama Karam More. And what is he thinking? I have blasphemed you. Did he blaspheme? He wants his daughter to become a widow. Did he blaspheme? But what is he thinking? I have blasphemed you. Shama Karo More. Please forgive me. What was Rishi Maharaj thinking after Mahabharat war? Because of me, so many people died. Krishna is telling, serve my desire. It's not no Krishna. Krishna को भी reject कर दिया उन्होंने. He is so convinced in his humble disposition because of me. Did he had any mistake? I am responsible. क्षमा करो मोरे. Sometimes we don't want to ask forgiveness because we think मेरी क्या गलती है. होता है कभी नहीं. कोई गलती है उनका. सब मटा चलेगा. Any mistake? He's telling क्षमा करो. Please excuse me. I beg your pardon. My spiritual master says Vaishnava means beyond being right. Even if there is no fault of yours, what do you have to do? If you have no fault, then still beg forgiveness. But why no fault, right? If you feel they're unhappy, ask forgiveness. Is that all right? This devotee, after he felt very difficult with me, then I said, Prabhu, I know you are very sad. I mean, I cannot say, Prabhu, please forgive me because I don't know how to say that. So, but I said, Prabhu, just left a voice message, Prabhu, I know you're very sad. My sincere prayers to Radha Gopijana Vallabha that may you be engaged in their service very soon. It's trying to repair, but it is difficult. It is difficult. This word is full of relativity. I was really thinking, two devotees have their flight to India. Anil Prabhu is going on 29th to India. Max Prabhu is going on 5th. They both are getting initiated. They are telling Prabhuji, please pray that initiations can happen before, within a week or 1.5 weeks. There, Ram Kumar Prabhu and Vai Prabhu are asking Prabhuji, please pray that the initiations are postponed.
Yeah, you hear the same thing. Like, Ankit Prabhu is praying for that the initiation can happen because he has to fly December 1st week.
They are directly Prabhuji, please pray. I don't know what to pray. I'm just surprised. This is the word of duality. Tutu issue. Please, it should be delayed. Please, it should happen now within a week. Ultimately, Krishna's will prevails. What?
Morning one prayer, evening one prayer. But let I'm going to decide.
My reflection was, how difficult it is for Krishna. Everyone is offering so many prayers to Krishna. They're all contradictory. What Krishna does is best for everyone. But for somebody, it will be very painful. But Krishna remains our best. That's why only one option we have. Surrender to Krishna's will. Because we always want Krishna to play in favor of us. He has to manage so much. There is a joke, right? You become a god. Somebody, you heard? You become a god for a day, then we will see. So I think Radhesham Prabhu shared that joke. I don't remember. I didn't pay much attention, but it makes sense. You become a god for a day and then we will see. And then he's like, somebody is coming, asking something. Another person is coming. He's asking for wealth. Another person is coming. So many things, and it's a very complex situation. But yes. So it's better if there is any hint. It's better to beg forgiveness, even if you are not at fault. Protect your bhakti.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what Amoga has said is correct. Therefore, it is not blasphemy. What is even offense?
It's another level. Amoga is the son-in-law of Saumatacha. He is the one who criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for overeating. And what is Mahaprabhu saying when Saumatacha said, what is Mahaprabhu's feeling? This is too much for me. If somebody misbehaves with us, and clearly it's a misbehavior, and somebody comes to you and says, that this person, he's acting like this. What will you say? I understand.
Yeah.
I know. You may not say much, but you agree at least. Then you will say, let's not speak about it. Then you will say, let's not speak about it. But you are indirectly telling the other person, I agree. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is shedding a different example for you. He's telling what Amova is telling is correct. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not thinking that, I'm a very strict sannyasi Prabhu. I'm doing it just to please Swami Bhattacharya. And I'm Krishna himself. It's like what Amova said is correct. What is your offense? So what he correctly said is correct. So how is it that you have offended me by any means? We just apply this one principle, na? This mood of Swami Bhattacharya and mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't think there is any chance of offense. You all agree? If we just apply these two statements in our life, none of them fits us. Huh?
We need to behave like this, else it doesn't come in.
That's why one thing that helps. Srisha Mataji, did you say something?
No, Prabhuji, after you talk, like I will. Yes, Prabhuji, I have some questions.
Okay, go ahead and ask a question, but I'm going to remember what I was.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji.
No, go ahead.
Like finding faults, like for even I do with the kids that, like by that time, like do we have to say that anything, Prabhuji, after that?
Means you found fault in somebody?
No, finding faults in kids while correcting kids. Suppose we do think that like that is not good for them, but they don't know whether that is not, like they do think like always like we are trying to find negative things or finding faults. So by the time, like after telling like what is good and what is bad, do we have to ask forgiveness, like if you feel bad or something?
Okay. So you heard the question? No. So I think I heard, I will say, and then I think whether if I. So somebody is doing something wrong, you tell them that this can be done in this way. And then do I need to ask that, oh, please forgive me if I hurt you? Is that correct, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
We need to be careful how we communicate and how we say.
Probably if you say it like that, they say you are doing too much. That's what they say.
Like if somebody does a wrong and we tell them this is where you're going wrong, and they say that you're doing too much.
No. We are saying you need to do like this. Then after that, if you say sorry, then they will say return, you are doing too much.
Okay. I mean, see what works in a relationship. Whatever helps to repair. But I've seen with respect to His Holiness Ranath Maharaj, he will go and tell Prabhu, it's not clean. Prabhu, this is not done. And then he would not say anything immediately, but later on he will say, Prabhu, I'm sorry. And he'll walk out. Prabhu, I'm sorry. And he'll walk out. Because your Krishna consciousness is very dear to you. And that's why the role of a teacher is he has to rectify. And it becomes a very difficult role actually. Because if you rectify anybody, they're not going to be happy. You'll be right.
So these things only apply to the devotees, not outside.
Of course never.
Outside is non-devotee.
Non-devotee just blaspheme them. And you're not devotee. No. If they are hurt, it will have an effect. But at the same time, we have to communicate. We cannot be fearful that it's okay if they're making mistake, let them make mistake, I won't say anything. And that's where it comes that we have to be careful. But we have to communicate. It's a very selfless service. You have to do it, and it will happen for you. You still have to do it. Because then you are not the well-wisher. Well-wisher means even if they feel bad, even if they're upset with you, you are still their well-wisher, you do it. But one thing is there. If you do it without envy, they will appreciate you. If you say something really with love, most of the time we don't say with love. We say because we are upset that they are doing wrong. But if you genuinely say as a well-wisher, no, this is good for them, you must know this, then they will feel bad that they displeased you. But if you say with that, when there is envy triggered because you don't like, how can you not do? How is it? Why? And if you say with that, they will feel negativity in their heart towards you. That will impact us. Being a role of a superior or a teacher does not give us the, what do we say, leverage to act out of envy. And our reaction is from an absolute platform. Did I answer? Okay. Sri Samata, is that okay?
Prabhuji, like especially for kids, by telling like how to develop, not with rude or like telling, like by correcting, like in that instant, like do you prefer like in that instant, like keep calm and then like, then later, maybe like what, say especially with me, Prabhuji, like in that instant, maybe I do not definitely tell nice, but at the same time, like I don't directly use any rough words, but so to come out of from that and then like guide well, like do you suggest, Prabhuji, that like in that situation, like keep calm and then like later anyway, so it's going to be little bit even for kids by that time is little bit peace when we are telling.
Yeah, that is
based on
recommended.
their mood, based on their mood.
Yes.
For me, I am so bad telling, Prabhuji, like I in that instant I will tell and then like later I will forget. But like whoever is like especially for Nashika, she suffer a lot.
With children, sometimes you have to be spontaneous with children, but especially dealing with devotees, you observe everything and stay silent and you tolerate. Especially grown-ups, even if your spouse, stay tolerant and let that some time pass by. And then when you are in good mood, then say, this is something, Prabhu, what do you think? Can we work on it? We, at the same time, we want to communicate, but we don't want to hurt them also. And it's not easy because we come into the mode of passion and like, it's our own emotion mixed with being a teacher that affects us also. Is it all right?
How about kids, Prabhuji, like in that situation, like
And you are saying what to do in a kid situation?
mm-hmm.
Well, it depends. One thing that I've heard is if you are truly doing it as their welfare, like kids are doing something and you immediately have to stop them, don't eat or something, and they are scared. But if you actually don't become angry, that is okay. But if your consciousness is disturbed, then I heard that is not okay. That will affect us. You heard me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right, can we proceed?
Prabhuji, sorry, Prabhuji, to ask one dumb question. Like, so whatever, say like the asking, like suppose if I am asking like example for that, I want this, and then in the same time, like Often, like before, my husband used to tell me, don't ask anything to Krishna because you may ask for this thing and then somebody may ask like that doesn't give it to her. So better not to ask or anything. So is that right mood, Prabhuji?
Okay, so your question is your kids ask something or you ask something?
No, Prabhuji, like you, long back, like we had some discussion, Prabhuji, like me and my husband. So he says that like what's his interpretation is like he doesn't ask anything to God. That he says that like if I ask something, like if somebody is asked, don't give it to him. So it's difficult for him to. I mean, like same thing. We are not supposed to ask like one person like that and one person like that. So better not to ask anything. Is that right, Prabhuji? Right
Well, I
mood.
had two different answers. It's okay to ask also because ultimately, if we have some emotions, where do we go? If I want to get initiated and there are some obstacles, I can pray to Krishna, Krishna, please help me to get initiated. And then if I don't get initiated, I take Krishna's will. I surrender to Krishna, but it's okay to ask. Or another option, which is actually a higher option, Krishna, whatever you want, whenever you want, I surrender to you. That's actually higher. Is it okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Bali Mahaprabhu Chavinda Bahina Bhattacharya Tanga Kare Leela Tanga Asami. After seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left and returned to his residence. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya followed him.
Okay, we'll go fast now.
प्रभु प्रभु फाड़े पर बहु आत्मा निंदा खैला तांड्रे सांता तारी प्रभु तोरे पाताले. Falling down the Lord's feet, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said many things in self-reproach. The Lord then pacified him and sent him back to his home.
Sarvabhattacharya was feeling very bad. So he was kind of saying again and again and again. But Mahaprabhu, like, it's okay, don't worry. And he sent him back home.
घरे आशी भट्टाचार्य साथीराम प्रसन्ने अपना निंदिया किचु वलेना बचारे. After returning to his home, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya consulted with his wife, the mother of Shadli. After personally condemning himself, he began to speak as follows.
Then he went back home. Mahaprabhu went back to Gambhira. Sarvabhattacharya came back and he consulted. And then he started speaking to himself.
इतने घुसे नारा निंदा से मिला यहाँ पाइते सारे वादा कैले होया पापा प्रायश्चित. If the man who blasphemed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is killed, his sinful action may be atoned.
Better that Amoga should die.
किंवा निज प्राणाय धिकारी विमोचना दुई योजना नहे दुई शरीरा brahmana. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continued, or if I give up my own life, this sinful action may be atoned. However, neither of these ideas is befitting because both bodies belong to Brahmana.
So he said one option is let Amoga be killed. Another option is should I die? Because in my home Mahaprabhu was offended. And he's like, but this body doesn't belong to me. So I cannot die myself, and I don't think we should kill Amoga also. Prabhupada says, dear Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya considered that if Amoga were killed, the killer would suffer sinful reactions for killing the body of a Brahmana. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was thinking that nobody should kill him also. It's not good for the person who killed. I cannot kill myself because this body doesn't belong to me. What do I do? How do I atone? And he was doing a lot of self-reproach for what has happened in his house.
Instead, I shall never see the face of the blasphemer. I reject him and give up my
relationship with him. I shall never even speak his name.
So this way he is showing his anger towards the blasphemer. And actually showing anger towards those who actually blaspheme a devotee is is actually a great service. It's the right use of anger. If you blaspheme those who blaspheme devotees, very good. Huh?
How is it?
It's a great service because you're pleasing a devotee. That's the right use of anger. When you hear a blasphemy of a devotee, anger is very good. Right use of anger. I actually got some, I should not say this, but somehow I was very happy. I mean, recently what happened now? Somebody came to me, started blaspheming me. Nice. Good medicine. Then Sean Prabhu was there. You know, Western culture is a little unique. Sean Prabhu was there. He said, I won't stand this. And then he spoke very strongly to that person. Actually, I felt very good. Then Sean Prabhu later on told me, if for doing this I have to go to hell, I'll go to hell. But I don't want to see you spoken rudely in public. He said, for this, if I have whatever consequences, I know we should not become angry. We have to become a sadhu. Shyam, please forgive me. This is beyond my tolerance limit. I embraced my Prabhu. Thank you. Because I'm a kind of person, I won't speak. If they speak, whatever they speak, this is my sabha, kind of. I just don't speak. So I felt, first time I felt, actually makes sense. Anger has a use. Till that time, it was theory for me. But this time I was pleased. I was very happy. Now, it's naturally my false ego that I was really blasphemed. But no matter what is ego, what is this? If you protect a devotee, that's good for you. I'm not a devotee, but it's just an experience Krishna gave me. Now I can speak with more conviction that if somebody speak, protect the devotees. I don't know if I can do that also because that's not my nature also. I will tell the devotee, it's okay, Prabhu, you also tolerate. I also tolerate. It's not my nature. But otherwise, there is a...
Other person
Huh?
Other person
Also devotee. That was the case here. But the thing was...
not like Western. Because they don't know.
Indians don't do these things, bro. They are very cultured people. India is great. Indian culture is great. Western, all glories. Till they become trained, very nice. It's a difficult service. Whatever comes, they say. There is no holding back. Like, what is missing is etiquettes are missing. And they speak like, I feel like this is very good for at least, nobody will speak like this. At least they are doing the best service. Right? Yeah, they will come in. What I usually do is, you have to give an answer now. They become actually even more angry. But I cannot face those emotions, but they are very high energy emotion. Sean was telling, if Americans see you, he will think that you're always depressed only. He will that this is only a depressed person. I said, I don't know, Prabhu. I cannot change myself. I cannot face that energy. I am who I am, Prabhu. This is who I am.
But if the things go serious, probably then will go to police and all, right? Instead the things go
Why police will come? Krishna will come, right? What do you mean police?
Not
Krishna
well,
comes
in
into
those
picture.
cases, like we getting angry. People here, I think some people they won't. Their tolerance level is very low. And they go up and suffer sometimes. Maybe physical handling and also can happen. And those things happen.
Our consciousness is what I mean. I'm not talking about legal and those things. Those doesn't matter to me. But how I see it as best is if somebody does something bad or speaks something ill, best is how I try to see for myself. This person is right. He has a point. It is my mistake. Protect your devotion. I mean, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us. He's not telling that Amogha is wrong. Obviously, Mahaprabhu is sitting in the heart of Amogha and he knows Amogha's intention. And you will see that this is very beautiful. Amogha, later on, when Amogha becomes sick, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Amogha, why did you act out of envy? Think about it. So thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't know that Amogha is acting out of envy. He himself is telling few verses later, why did you let yourself act out of envy? But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows everything and he's telling Amogha is right. What is this consciousness? This is achintya, means this is contradictory. How it is contradictory? You know it is wrong, but you still see I am wrong. Does it make sense? You know they are wrong, but you still think that no, I am wrong. And you convince yourself that I am wrong. Somewhere in the heart, you know this is not right. But then still you see it is right. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach by his own example, right? It's not that you don't see things as they are. You see things as they are. Krishna will give you intelligence to see things as they are. But you act according to Vaishnava etiquette, yourself. Is that okay? Yes.
Well, you know, example is that Americans, in some cases, when they are black and white, we deceive our people. So let's say they're not saying in front of you, but they may be telling for 10 people bad about you. So rather than this, often they're saying that is better than one aspect.
Yeah. Whether
It's just some miscommunication. They're telling you frankly in front of you. Or
Yeah.
flatly, but
best is Prabhu, both are wrong. Whether you speak behind the back, we will be impacted. You speak in the front, we'll be impacted. But you have to choose better among the two than speak in front. But yeah, that's better. Instead of behind the. But you know, even if you have to communicate, na, etiquette's Prabhu.
how we are coming.
How we communicate. People try to kill Prabhupada. I spoke to Kalakanta Prabhu, this is little unstable. He said, remember Prabhupada. But Prabhupada has to go in 26-second event. So many times he was trying to be hit. Prabhupada in the middle of the night has to leave the house and he has no place to stay and he is calling, I need a place to stay. And it was a shock for him. But he's trying to understand the Western culture. Those are the people he has to deal with. So Kalakanta Prabhu was telling, when Prabhupada would go through, who are we, Prabhu? I was like, so what he's telling? It's normal. Don't worry about this will happen. This will happen. So this is Savabhattacharya. He was self-reproaching. And then he's like, I don't want to see him. I don't even want to speak his name.
Inform my daughter separately, abandon her relationship with her husband because he was not born When the husband falls down, it is the wife's duty to relinquish the relationship.
If the husband falls down, then it is wife's duty to abandon. So, so Bhattacharya is telling, tell the daughter that give relationship with him. Doesn't have to follow the husband anymore.
When a husband is fallen, one's permission to the must be given. That night, Another Bhattacharya son fled, and in the morning, immediately fell sick with cholera.
So he was going in a cold actually. He ran away, na? So he was running. He was running and cold air. So he got cholera. But that's just the external reason. Just the external reason.
That was dying of cholera. It is the level of symptoms that is leading from I want to.
I wanted to kill him, but Krishna is helping me. Thank you. Very good. This is the feeling of Sama Bhattacharya. Quite contradictory, right? He's a Vaishnava, but he wants him to be killed. Yes, bro.
You mentioned the daughter, but the relationship with your husband. But in other aspects, some of the cases, they say, as a wife, it's your duty to serve your husband. So it's kind of contradiction.
So Prabhupada did mention one of the purport also. If the husband is fallen, reject him. If the husband is a devotee, serve him. This is one principle that Prabhupada we see and that we see in the scriptures. But what we generally say now, time, place, circumstances, serve him and his heart will be transformed. So second principle is more relevant to this day and age. Is that okay? But according to scripture, there is no sin in rejecting. Huh? Yeah, in his own home, he actually rejected her because she sold Bhagavatam. And he became very upset. He asked him, do you want tea or me? She said, tea. He said, okay, then I will go. She thought, where will he go? He will come back in a week. But Prabhupada never came back. And there is no sin. It was actually Krishna's arrangement. But shastrically, nothing wrong. Just like asking Arjuna to kill Duryodhan others, shastrically correct. From the perspective of Arjuna, my relative, my duty, not correct. So Krishna told him that, no, we have to kill. You are in ignorance. He said, no, I cannot kill. So sentiments one side, scriptures one side. But at the same time, it is not generally followed. Otherwise, if generally followed now, then we will see divorces only everywhere. Think about it, because this Kali Yuga, Prabhu, there will always be differences. If the husband is chanting, the wife will say, or wife chanting, husband will say, useless chanting also. And go, nobody, so general principle now is transform the heart of the other person by your example. That's why we don't speak that principle. Otherwise, it will give a Shastri thing that you can leave. And see if they leave now, so much disturbance. Where will you go? Children are there. And the life becomes very, very disturbed. Before, after, even further disturbed. So best is tolerate and focus on your Krishna consciousness. But if the case is really extreme, like beaten up or those things, then sometimes you have to take some action. Is it all right? Right.
I understand from that principle that woman should be always given shelter.
Yes.
Either with husband or with father. So in that case, From that perspective, it has to think of
Who has to think of? The woman.
the parts, like after he reaches
Yeah, at that level, you don't have to think. Why? Because Krishna comes into the picture. You heard the story of Sridhar Swami? When his wife was sick, she was pregnant, she gave birth to a child. The pain was too intense and she died. You heard the story? No. No? Sridhar Swami, you know, right? Mahaprabhu would hear Sridhar Swami's commented Bhagavatam. So it's a dark night. Dark night. And so she died. Child was crying. Sridhar Swami was thinking, I want to go to Vrindavan. The child, Sridhar Swami is telling, I want to go to Vrindavan. But he doesn't want to go to Vrindavan because he wants to escape the responsibility. He wants to go to Vrindavan because he wants to dedicate his life to Lord Krishna. And then he saw a baby lizard gave birth to a lizard gave birth to baby lizard, and baby lizard saw a ant. Then he thought, who taught this baby lizard that this is your food and you have to eat? Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. Krishna is guiding all living entities. Krishna will guide this child also. And he walked out and left for Vrindavan. The child was alone crying. Only they told no in-laws or parents were there. Just the child in the house. And then a couple was going to Tirupati and coming back. And the couple was praying. They went with that Kamana to give us a child. They were coming back and they heard the child sound crying. They went inside. They saw the mother is dead. Nobody's in the house. The child is crying. Took the child. Tirupati's Mahaprasad. The child is supposed to be under protection. He is one of the greatest commentators of Bhagavad. If you think in that way, Rupa and Sanatan left. Raghunath Das Goswami left. Bhaktivinoda Thakur left. Prabhupada left. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. Who stayed? Who thought about what about their care? Prabhupada said after Bhaktivinoda Thakur, me. Bhaktivinoda Thakur always stay alone only. Full life dedicated to preaching. Prabhupada. So at that level, it is described, there is no karma, there is no duty, there is no responsibility at that level. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, you cannot follow that level unless you are liberated soul. Sridhar Swami, okay. Prabhupada, okay. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, okay. Raghunath Das Goswami, okay. Rupa Sanatan, okay. Two of them were like, they didn't marry only. Raghunath Bhatt and Gopal Bhatt. Okay. Jiva Goswami, that's what they are Goswamis. They are doing okay. We do not. We are not liberated. Commentary by there is dharma principle, right? Our dharma is our duty. Raghunath Das Goswami says, Mana Siksha, don't be attached to dharma or dharma. Lord Krishna says, all the dharma, don't worry about it, just surrender on to it. Gopis left. Brahmana Bais left. Didn't care about dharma. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if you are at their level of the Goswamis, liberated soul, you leave. No karma will come to you. And the principle is not we are frustrated with the family life or we are running from duty. The principle is attraction to Krishna is so intense that we cannot think of anything other than attraction to Krishna. Gopis could not hold themselves because of their love for Krishna. Sridhar Swami, they could not hold themselves. But if we follow the principle without that maturity, then we will be incriminated by karma. Prabhupada, Sasrai Thakur came, leave. He said, my responsibility. Second time, leave. Third time, leave. Krishna forced him. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, I have to you're saying this Prabhu left because child is very small. It is responsibility, right? We have to take care of child responsibility, and at the same time, we have to take care of the final rights of his wife. Because on the other hand, if you see Ramayana, so many Vandas are died. So Lord
Understood,
Ram said,
bro.
let's keep
Controversial
them
topic.
aside. We have to do the final rights for them. On the other hand, Ravana said, let's take out the body and throw it in the ocean. Because if somebody sees that is depressed, these many factions are died. So kind of contradiction. This.
You know who performed the last rite of Kamsa? Krishna. Last rites of Kamsa. He dragged the body, went to Vishram Ghat in Mathura, from the last rites. That's why devotees are devotees, Krishna and Rama. No sense.
Other aspect I thought, we should not give any work to Krishna.
Any?
I mean, anything to Krishna. Krishna will take care. No, that is one aspect. The higher principle is, why should we give trouble to Krishna?
These are two different levels, Prabhu. That's why I told her, at our level, what you're saying is correct. Lectures we hear is at our level. What I'm referring to is another level. Liberated souls. We have duty to forefathers, parents, demigods, sages. It's not only to them, it's to everything connected in this world. These are just the names taken. We have duties. The principle is we have duties. Srimad Bhagavatam says, if it is done for the sake of Krishna, no reaction. But if it is done not for the sake of Krishna, heavy karma. Like somebody takes a brahmacharya and then parents are upset. But if it is done to serve Krishna, no reaction. But if they deviate from Krishna consciousness, all the karma will come back to them. Same with sannyasis also. Any duty, if it is done for the sake of Krishna, no reaction. No reaction. This, if you think Raghunath Das Goswami, beautiful wife. Correct, right? What did he do? Started running. भागना शुरू कर दिया उन्होंने. Through the forest path. What do we say? Great soul. We don't criticize him, right? Nobody criticizes him. We glorify him. Takta deham shesha mandalapati shrenim sadatu chava dhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirvatsaro pujito vande vasanatana raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalika. Sridhar Swami, Srinivas Acharya is a glorification of the six personalities. It has to be done, these verses have to be applied at a liberated level. On a liberated platform, no dharma considerations are there. Madhavendra Puri says, this. I'm not much concerned because I'm so attracted to the son of Yashoda. If we had that attraction, no reaction will come.
But Lord did final rights for Kamsa.
He left also, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left also his wife, right?
Yeah, but final rights. Krishna did for Kamsa.
Don't even see. He did. Nothing right and wrong works. No dharma works when one has developed attraction to son of Mother Yashoda. No dharma works there. It's a force. It is said by our spiritual master for brahmacharis. My father passed away. I asked Yoga Kishore Prabhu, Prabhu, he passed away. Should I go? Don't go. Even if I'm the eldest son, don't go.
Still I did not get the answer because on one hand, Lord showing, hey, this is the path you have to follow. We are appreciating that even though Kamsa is any is in the final answer. Here also we are appreciating he left his wife without doing the final rights.
The best path, I understand, Prabhu. We follow Mahajanayana Katha Sapanta. We follow the great souls. I'm not saying last right is there, no. What I'm saying is don't find fault in Sridhar Swami. It's not good for you.
No, not kind of. It's both contradictions. You don't know how to understand.
I understand, Prabhu. What I'm trying to say is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I'm trying to quote him. If it is done for the sake of service of Krishna, there is no reaction. Anything you do, Krishna has done, okay. Krishna lifted Govardhan. Krishna has done many things. You can hold a point and be stick and say, this is how it should be. What I can say is, Sridhar Swami is perfect. Yes, he did leave his wife. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified. I don't want to justify, I don't want to say that, yeah, should not have done that. Perfect. At his stage, perfect. At our stage, at our level, no. Do whatever example they have said. His stage, perfect. His stage, leaving his son crying, perfect. Raghunath Das Goswami leaving without even divorce, perfect. Anything Goswami is so perfect. That's what I can say. Okay, who is the next one to read? Yes, sir.
When one offends the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Karma immediately takes that way. After saying this, he recited 2 words so strong that he reveals position.
If you offend Krishna, immediate aparadha will come. That's the, and Sama Bhattacharya is telling, he got cholera. It's because he offended Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no delayed karma. There is instant aparadha. So this may be directly the English, or we read together. Mahata hi prayatnena hasti ashwaratapati bhi asma yad anushteyam gandharvaishtad anushtitam. So,
What we have had to arrange with great endeavor by collecting the friends, horses, chariots, and infantry soldiers has already been accomplished by Gandharvas. This is a quotation from the Mahabharata, Prava 241:15. Vaishna's speaking of Bhishma made this statement when all the Pandavas were living in the exile in the forest.
So this is, what does this verse says? Who says that? Bhimsen. When? In Vrindavan. When the Gandharvas took, he said, great. Whatever we could not do, the Lord did. In other words, their reaction is coming back to something. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami quotes this. And one more. Ayushriyam yashodharmam lokan asisa evacha andrisheyamsi sarvani vamso mahat atikrama.
A person mistreats great souls. His lifespan, opulence, reputation, religion, possession, and good fortune are all destroyed.
And so Sama Bhattacharya is quoting these two verses and saying that because he has offended Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything is finished for him. And that's why his cholera is very good. And Prabhupada has made that arrangement. And then we'll continue next week. Although I had a desire to finish, there is some nice part remaining. So we'll resume this next week. Okay. Thank you very much. We sing the Shingarti. Namaste प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Go to previous slide. Oh, so this particular conversation where the Gandharvas, and there was Yamuna river. On this side of Yamuna river, there were Kauravas, and on this side there was Pandavas. They actually came and they were playing. They were making fun of Pandavas because they were in exile. So they came with a motive to make fun of the Pandavas with the whole army and having their kind of some sort of enjoyment. And they were bathing in the Yamuna. So at that time, Gandharva came and he said, "This part of Yamuna belongs to us. You cannot bathe here." So Yodhan was intoxicated, so he said, "We don't care." So then they fought, and the Gandharvas, they caught hold of Duryodhan and all the Kaurava family and took them to their planet as a bandi, as a prisoner. So Duryodhan asked Yudhishthira Maharaj that, please help me, Pandavas. He asked Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, yes, although we are enemies, but for outsider, we are 105 brothers. And then Bhimsen said, very good. So this is spoken by Bhimsen. So he is telling what we have done to arrange with great endeavor by collecting elephants, horses, chariot, and infant soldiers has already been accomplished by the Gandharvas. Or somehow if we have made an attempt to capture them, what we would have done with all these things, we don't have to do anything, and they did our job. So the reaction for them to kind of criticize or blaspheme us or what they have done, they have already got the reaction. So referring to the reaction of cholera, I mean Amoga, he got it immediately, just like they got it. All right? Huh? He's always angry with Kauravas. So he only will speak this one. Arjun and Rishi Maharaj will say, no, forgive them. E. You actually stretch it. If it is before, that means like silent A. Like if you see this, any question in this? Huh? That's okay. Are you, when there is dot below it, ha become ha. Are you stretch ha. On the S, there is a apostrophe. It becomes Shriyam. Sha instead of Sa. Sha. Sriyam, Shriyam, Shriyam. Show me the number. It's if it's on the top, Sa becomes Sha. If it is before, then A hidden. A hidden. But I'm not perfect at it. Whatever I know, I will share. Thank you. What is the